morning.
Chanukah Sameach, Hashem Shabbat Shalom. We're going to talk about Parashat Vayeshev. Last week, we saw Yaakov meeting up with his brother after 30-some years. A lot of troubles, a lot of problems he had in his life. He had to run away from his brother, then he had to meet his brother. When he ran away, he had to meet with Lavan, someone worse than Esav even tricked him. After he came back, and he met up with his brother, his daughter, Dinah was violated. It was almost a big war. Hashem helped him. And then, Total 26 Parsha. Yaakov passed all the troubles, last few parashiot, and all of a sudden, Yosef, another big problem.
Very nice.
Right? That's the story of the Jewish people. From one problem to another problem, from one trouble to another trouble. We never can really settle down and be comfortable. Someone might think there's no more war. Oh, October 7th happened. Always Jews cannot, unfortunately, escape the trouble that Hashem brings for us. That's what Rashi says. Vayeshev, he settled down. Vayeshev means he sat down. Vayeshev wanted to settle down. So Rashi brings down Midrash, famous Midrash. Bikesh Yaakov leshev b'shalva. Yaakov wanted to sit in comfort, and the anger of Yosef jumped on him. Another big problem came up. Maybe one of his biggest problems, right? Not seeing Yosef for 22 years. Sadikim v'akeshim leshev b'shalva. The righteous people want to sit in comfort, live a comfortable life. Hashem says, that's not enough for you, that you're going to get Olam Haba, you want to have Olam Hazeh too? You can't have both words. I give you Olam Haba, Olam Hazeh, there will be trouble to go through. I was reading Rabbi Zilberstein. He says that, what's the problem? What was so bad if Yaakov actually had, some comfort in his life, some easy time? Why he has to go through trouble so much? So, because of Moshe Feinstein says that he wants to teach Yaakov, you never stop working on your family. We have a mitzvah, whoever has children has a mitzvah of educating. Parenting, upbringing. You can't say, my kids are already grown up, Baruch Hashem, they are in the way of God. Even they're married, they have their own children, don't have to worry about it. I'm good to go. Yaakov, at the start of his life, is one of the youngest. Yosef was one of the youngest. Then Benjamin, but Yosef was 17 years old. Everybody else was much older. So he had an idea that I'm done. Hashem said, you're not done. You see, there's a big problem with your children. They don't get along. So a father always has to work as a father. A mother always has to work. You have to make sure they're still continuing your way of life. The chinuch, parenting, it never ends. It doesn't mean that once your kids are grown up, or even they are married, you don't have to educate them anymore. You have to have your limits, obviously, but you always have to worry about them. That's what Hashem didn't like about Yaakov being too comfortable. Especially, says Rav Moshe, after seeing Shimon and Levi, who killed the whole city of Shechem, that already showed Yaakov, it was, you're not educating your kids good enough. You're not parenting good. Why should you, two kids didn't listen to you, didn't ask you. Shimon and Levi did not ask you. That means you can't just let's go now. You still have so much more work to do. the Mefarshim say that there's a uh, very big, you know, Jewish foundation, big yesod, a very big fundamental, which is, it brings down a mashal. Uh, somebody did, he was walking and saw a group of dogs. They want to bite him. So he went, he sat exactly in between them. He didn't run away. He sat right in the middle of the dogs. That's what Yaakov did. About 2 weeks that he saw Esau and so many chiefs of his children and grandchildren, so many big family. He didn't run away. He said, I'm right here. Vayeshev. He sat down right there. So the Ibn Emet writes, we learn from here that there are so many sarot, so many tragedies and yisurim, pains who come to a person. The person should not run away from it. Should deal with it. Should be inside of it. Don't run away from tragedies. Uh, Chafetz Chaim said that a person who unfortunately is Baal Yisurim, we don't wish for it, but Yisurim always there. And he wants to take it off from himself and throw it out, throw the Yisurim out. He's like somebody who is chained with very heavy chains, metal chains, and he's trying to take them off. The more you try to take off the chain, the more hurt you damage and you hurt yourself. You're gonna make yourself bleed. So a person has to learn how to live with sarot, with tragedies, with pain. You can't run away from it. A person has to always know that there are problems in life. Um, you can't run away. It's part of life. So he says, just look at Yosef as Sadiq. He was the most adored person in the family. Yaakov loved Rachel the most. Then that's her first son. So Yaakov, by default, loved Yosef the most. And then he made him a special garment, and he treated him very, special. All of a sudden, he's taken away. He's thrown to the pit. Then he's sold to Egypt. Then he's works for the Potiphar, and then he gets thrown to the jail. Uh, who was in his place? He would commit suicide. I don't want to deal with this. I was the prince of Yaakov's house, and now I'm a slave. Now I'm a prisoner. I don't want it. Yosef, to the contrary, became the head of the nation. Why? Because he knew how to deal with sarot. You don't give up. This part of life. I have to make the best out of it. The way he dealt with his troubles, his problems, even in the prison, in that nasty place, he made such a big kiddush Hashem, that Hashem elevated him and became the vice president. He became the vice president of Egypt. So he brings down many stories that people were really big problems, tragedies, accidents happened to them. But instead of just being upset and depressed and not doing what you're supposed to do, they're very strong to just keep going. To have faith in God and say, that happened. Hashem brought me the tragedy, the Yisurim. Okay, probably I did something wrong that I deserve it, but I have to move on. I have to keep going. Um, so the very big yesod is that we are the children of Yaakov Avinu. Tragedies happen to him and his children will happen to us. Then the question is how we're going to make out of it. If you want to run away from it, there's a story in the Tanakh, Sefer Ruth. What happened to Elimelech that a very famous wealthy guy. There was a drought, a famine in Eretz Israel. He ran away. He said, I don't want to deal with it. I should pay the money to all the poor. I want to. He didn't want to be part of the sorrow, the trouble, the tragedy. He ran away from it, and he was destroyed. He died. His sons died. Right? But people who stayed in Israel and dealt with the tragedy, they became prosperous. They made money. Boaz became the father of he fathered Mashiach basically. Fathered David HaMelech. You see, um, a very big example in in our Torah and Tanakh that a person cannot run away from tragedies. Sad things happen, unfortunately. We have to still make Kiddush Hashem. We still have to keep ourselves up. I said last week, a person should not become like animal just because everybody else is acting like an animal. You have to keep your dignity. As a Jew, I'm a Jew. People in Holocaust still kept, they behaved, they talked, the way they dealt with other people. I'm a human being. I deal with you as a human being. So that's very, very important. You see from here that how Yaakov and Yosef dealt with the tragedy. The Torah says that um, Yosef, in a way, was reporting to Yaakov all the bad things that the brothers did. ויבט דיבתם רעה אל אביהם. ויסד דיבתם. So was a reporter. He was a spy, but whatever he saw bad, he would go to his dad and say, we call malshin, somebody who always talks about other people. Yosef loved, Yaakov loved him. He gave him a special garment, beautiful garment, expensive garment. The other brothers didn't get it. So there was a big jealousy involved. Chazal learned from here that a person should not treat one of the kids more than other people, right? So you have only one child, you don't have that problem. You have one daughter, you don't have that problem. But if you have more than one, you have to know they all have to get attention. Doesn't mean they have to all get the same attention, but they have to have their own specific way of attention. Meaning, if somebody gets a special garment, because that's what he needs, the other person should get a special shoes because that's what he needs. Someone should get a special, maybe his phone because that's what he needs. But everybody has to get something special. Can't be only one person getting all the attention. That was Yaakov's, so to speak, his mistake by treating Yosef. Even though Yosef was his, big Talmud, big student, very smart. In a way, he took the Bechora, the firstborn rights, away from Reuven. He gave it to Yosef without Reuven's permission, right? So the brothers didn't like Yosef anymore. The Torah says, "V'lo yachlu daberu leshalom." They didn't like him, they hated him, and did not talk to him with shalom. Chazal say, you see from here, the greatness of the Shavatim. They were very open. If I don't like you, I tell you I don't like you. Instead of saying, oh, I love you, yeah, you're such a good person, you're the best, you're a hero, but on your back, I talk bad about you. I try to stab you, in the back. So they didn't talk to him peacefully. You don't like you, we show it. It's very, very important to be, your mouth and your heart should be the same. You can't show love and respect for somebody if you don't have for it. So either you make peace, or if you don't, you show that I don't like it. I don't agree. So Yosef has two dreams. One about the bundles of wheat that his brothers' bundles are bowing down to his bundles, and the second one, 11 stars, right? The sun and the moon, 11 stars bowing down to me. So brothers are very, very upset. They're jealous, and they plan to kill him and take him off of the map, right? So when Yaakov sent Yosef to see where they are, how they're doing. They had a plot to capture him, kill him, or throw him into the pit. Eventually, sell him to the Ishmaelim, to the Arabs. This way, they're gonna get rid of him. There's a very famous story. Asara Harugei Malchut. You know the Asara Harugei Malchut? The 10 killed people by the king. There were 10 famous Tanoim. Rabbi Ishmael, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Yochanan. The most famous people of the Mishnah, they were killed by a melech, by a Roman king. The king, they called the kingdom, a star, a chief, a general, army general came, read the Torah, and he said, "Your brothers killed, Yosef. They sent Yosef away like that. Such a shame. I'm gonna kill 10 of you guys." But Binyamin was not involved. 10 brothers plotted to kill Yosef, right? So he said, because 10 brothers wanted to kill Yosef, I'm gonna kill 10 of your biggest guys. So the biggest rabbis, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Ishmael, Rabbi Yochanan, there's a list. Very terrible way. Like, in a way, like, maybe they were the Gilgul, but the general said this is the kapara, atonement for the sin of Mechirat Yosef, selling Yosef. On Tisha B'Av, you have a special reading in the morning when you have the Kinot. Read about that. That this 10, as Abe said, very tragic way. Rabbi Yochanan looked beautiful. And the daughter of Caesar, the daughter of the general said, I don't want to lose him. I want to keep looking at him. So the king said, I'm going to peel off his skin intact. I'm just going to take off his flesh. So they kept the skin on for the daughter to watch him, and they killed him and they took the body inside out. So that terrible. Rabbi Akiva, they brought combs, metal combs, and they combed his body. They shredded his body. Everyone, one of them, they put him in the fire, but they kept water, the sponge of water on his heart. They should not die easily. Whole body should be burnt, like Hamas on October 7th. Terrible, very, very bad, in a bad way. But the greatest rabbis of the generation, and the Sar, that chief, said, this is the kapara of Mechirat Yosef. So it looks like, I think Ashkenazim read on Yom Kippur too. My Rav said they read about it on Yom Kippur. One of the things they read during the day is about Mechirat Yosef. So you see from here that Mechirat Yosef was a very bad thing, a terrible thing. How could 10 brothers decide to sell their young brother, a 17-year-old kid, to the enemy? Why would they do it? Right? Why would they do it? So one of the Mepharshim says, because they thought Yosef, in a way, is a rodef. What's a rodef? Somebody is coming to kill you, right? And there's a mitzvah in the Torah, someone's coming to kill you, you kill him first. They saw, as a history, Abraham had 2 sons, Ishmael and Yitzchak. Ishmael, in a way, got disappeared. He's not part of our nation. Yitzchak took over. Ishmael, he's gone. Yitzchak had 2 sons, Yaakov and Esav. Esav is gone, he's out. Our father has 12 boys. Only one is going to survive. Only Yosef. We're all going to become other nations. So he's kind of cutting us off of the tradition from the family, from the history. We don't want to be wiped out. So we're going to kill him. That was their cheshbon. If you want us not to be part of the family, to us, that's like killing. We don't want it. So that's what some Mepharshim say. I think Sifono says that as well. My Rav had another answer. Rabbi says that You know the Torah, where do you start from? Start from Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara. What did he do? Yosef used to go and look at the brothers, when they were shepherding uh, the sheep. He would take care of Bilam and Zilpah, and then Vayeshev Yosef dibatam ra'el abihim. He would bring the bad report to their father. So Rashi says, what the bad things that he told his father. He said that they were eating ever minachai. They were eating a limb of an animal before they kill him. Even before Torah, you're supposed to kill or shech the animal before you eat it, but they would just take it without shechita, or before the animal dies completely, maybe they killed him, but still alive, not dead, completely dead. And they said very embarrassing things to the boys who came from the co-wives from Bilha and Zilpah. The other brothers say, your mother is not the real wife. Mother is only a maid who became a wife. And number three, the Chashudim al Arayot. He said to the father that my brothers go out with other ladies inappropriately. So, and he got punished for all three. For the animal, they shechted the goat, and they dipped the coat in the blood, because he talked about not eating a good kosher meal. What animal came for his bad consequence. The fact that he said the other brothers call these brothers, you are servants, you are slaves, because your mother was a slave, was a maid. He was sold to be a slave, and because he said my brothers are in inappropriate relationship, Eshet Potiphar, wife of Potiphar, came after him. So whatever he said to his father came back to him. Mita Kereget Mita. He got it back. So Rabbi says, you see, from this Rashi, he was wrong. He was wrong in all three cases. Whatever he reported to his father, he was wrong. He was saying Lashon Hara. The fact Yaakov didn't tell him, be quiet, I don't want to talk about it. Right? I'm sorry. The fact that Yaakov didn't tell the boys, the other boys, don't do it. You are wrong. That means Yaakov didn't hold is so bad, but they are doing. Otherwise, Yaakov would go tell all the 10 boys, you're wrong, what you're doing. So you see, it starts from Lashon Hara. Then it becomes jealousy. They didn't like him anymore. They had hatred, sinah. They were jealous, kin'ah. Then argued, you want to become our king? You want to buy us out? From a small, little averot became the biggest avera of selling your brother to the enemy.
But didn't the father start that by favoring Yosef?
Okay, so that was a mistake. He should have done it. But that was another avera for the boys, for the sons, the brothers, to hate their brother or to be jealous of the brother. There is a very famous Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, which says, avera goreret avera. Right? A sin will drag another sin. Right? And another sin will drag another sin. You start small, unfortunately, it gets very big. But you have to be very, very careful. Right? Someone says, hey, just Lashon Hara. It's a small thing. It's a hatred. I'm not doing any action. It's only in my heart. I don't like him, or I want to talk about him, or I'm very jealous to him. So unfortunately, small could cause to something very, very deep and severe. Could cause something that the consequence of Asura and Malchut, the 10 people who were killed, the 10 biggest rabbis of our generation, or that generation, were killed because of that. It just shows how bad it is to to be, to start off an avera. A person should know small averas could cause damage much more later on. Don't say it's not a big deal right now. Right now it's not a big deal, but it will trigger other big deals, bad deals, bad deals. I saw another very interesting thing here. It says that Yaakov gave the special garment to Yosef. All the brothers got jealous. So it says ketonet pasim. The Midrash says pasim are the Rashi Tevot acronyms for 4 words. Pei, Samech, Yud, Mem, right? Pei is Potiphar, right? Samech is Socharim, the merchants who sold him. Yud is Ishmaelim, Mem is Midianim. He was sold many times from one group, from one nation, another nation. Anyway, Potiphar put him in jail. So Yaakov is gifting him a very expensive and unique gift of beautiful garment, but that garment is pasim. Pasim means, how do you say, abrisham? Silk,
Oh,
right? The silk. But that silk in Hebrew has 4 words, which represents 4 different tragedies that happened to Yosef. So you look at the first glance, you see all the brothers are jealous. He gets the $5,000 dress or suit. We don't get it. But they don't know 4 big tragedies that are happening to him are going to happen to him because of that garment. There's a Silverstein. That's true by every jealousy. People look, say, oh, he got such a big house. Look at him. Big job. So much money. Beautiful car. Wow. What you don't see, what do you know? What this beautiful garment, beautiful house, beautiful car, beautiful, banking, what's going to cause him later on? You don't see that part. Right? So only if your brothers knew what Yosef is going to go through Gehinom in his lifetime. Many for 30 years he's being sold and with this and that. He's been in jail for 12 years and he has to deal. There are problems in his life. Because I got that garment. Would you take that garment? You say, no, I don't want it. If I knew what's going to happen, why should I have jealousy to that? So says Rav Zilberstein, a person should always keep in mind, nothing is worth of being jealous. You see other people more successful, don't be jealous. You never know what that brings for them. He said one person came to me, he said there was a very important company hiring, and there were 2 people that were good candidates, me and my friend, but I'm more expert in that field. But that company hired my friend and me. I'm very upset. I'm very jealous. Why not me? Why my friend?
Mhm.
So, so, so he says, I gave him a good example. I said that in this is Parsha, in the end, there were 2 chiefs of staff of Paro who were present. Sarah Ofim and Sarah Mashkim, the chief of bread, head of the baking company, and head of the drinks, the wine company. So what it is 2 there? Sarah Mashkim is there to Hashem put him there that for later on go back to Paro and say, I know somebody who knows how to translate dreams. Yosef will get back to power. Why Hashem put Sarah Ofim there? The baker's head there. What did he do there? He didn't need to be there. Right? He didn't accomplish anything for Yosef. He was like, and nobody, and Nochodi. Like, what was he there? Why do we have to know about story of Sarah Ofim in the Torah? Hashem didn't have to put him there. Why is he there? Rabbi says because it was only Sarah Hamashkim and not Sarah Ofim. What would happen? Sarah Hamashkim would have a dream that he's pouring wine for the king again in his dream. comes to Yosef. So, oh, that means in 3 days, we're going to go back to the palace. And what happened? And what would Sar Hamashkin would tell himself? Yosef was a smart guy. He took a guess. He took a risk. They said him bad. He translated the dream in a good way. See, 3 days, gonna be, there's expression that when you say good things happen. But he's not a very big chacham. When Paro had dreams in Netflix Parsha, he would not recommend Yosef. Why? Because Yosef doesn't know anything. He's just a smart guy to throw out good things, but not a smart guy. What happened? Sarah Ophim came. Yosef said, in 3 days you're going to be hung. You're going to die. So Sarah Mashkim said, he's a very smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. He has Ruach Kodesh. He's a Navi. How can he tell? I will be back to the palace working. Seraphim should be hung. Must be knows what he's talking about. So says the only reason Hashem put Seraphim there to make Sarah Mashkim trust Yosef's judgment. Otherwise, Yosef's words were nothing. So says imagine when Sarah Ophim became Sarah Ophim, what did people say? Lucky you. You are head of bakery. You're gonna go serve the king. You're gonna be the palace. So much money you're making. Wow, how do you make him the Sarah Ophim for him to go to the jail and get hung for Yosef to be proved right? So his big position was a big downfall for him. If he knew that's why he didn't chosen to be a Sarah Ophim, he said, I don't want to be Sarah Ophim. Why should I be the chief of the bakery if I'm going to get hung for Yosef to become the king? I don't want that. Says Rabbi, I'm sure everybody was jealous. The chief of bakery. So he said to his friend, this guy that is very jealous of his friend being appointed by this company, get the job. He says, you never know what's going to happen to the guy later on. You're jealous that he got the money, he got the position, now he's going to travel all the world. Who knows? What Hashem has in mind, in his basket for him. Is that worth your short lifespan to be jealous for this and that? Enjoy your life. That's what he told this guy. You're going to be always jealous and upset and eat yourself. My friend he's doing this now. He got the new job, now he got the new car, he got the new house, and this and that, all because of that position. But you never know. God forbid what's going to happen later on. So is that worth? Is that worth to always be jealous with other people? We're talking about dreams. He brings down two stories about dreams. One is that somebody came to him and he said that my mother came to my dream that the mohel. My mother told me that the mohel of his uncle has come to her dream and say, you owe me money. So, but the mother says, my father, this guy's grandfather, had paid this guy for the Brit Milah. I don't know why he's coming to my dream. So they took the story to Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky and he said, if you know for sure that your grandfather had paid for the Brit Milah of the son, you don't have to worry about the dream. Dream can't go, you don't have to. But if you're not 100% sure, it just shows how bad it is when a person does not pay somebody else when he owes him money. Right? They're both dead. The grandfather is dead. The mohel is dead. But still the mohel is coming back to the daughter's dream and say, I want my money. Where's my money? Right? So he said you learn from something from here that a person always has to be careful about paying people on time and fully. What they made up. If you made up the payment, you have to pay. Don't go away from it. That's number one. Number two dream, he said there was a very, very big Rosh Yeshiva traveling in America with 8 students. And they were supposed to land, let's say, in a big city, but it was very snowy. They couldn't land in that airport, they had to go to another airport. But that airport was a military base, military airport. There's no choice. They have to land over there. The Rosh Yeshiva said, but the problem is, we're doing mincha, and we don't have a minyan. You're 9 people, me and 8 students. What are you going to do for the 10th person? As they get down, one of the military people, the soldier, or whatever the officer is, because you guys are looking for a minyan, right? They say, you're a Jew? How do you know what the minyan is? He said, I'm the 10th person. And he says, what are you doing? What are you doing here? He says, I tell you what I had a dream last night. Today is the Yosef of my father, and he came to my dream last night and said, I want you to say Kaddish for me. I said, Hashem, I'm in a military base. There's no minyan here. How am I going to say Kaddish? I can't get out of here. So, but I kept remembering the dream that my father said, say Kaddish for me. You heard the story then? The guy was in a military base, and another plane had to reroute because of the snow to land there. 9 people, Rosh Yeshiva and 8 students. And the guy had been praying to Hashem, find me a minyan. In the middle of a military base, he can't leave.
Yeah.
But he needs a minyan, he needs 10 people, he needs 9 people. And he said, since I woke up, I've been praying to Hashem, please find me a minyan. Once I saw the new, unexpected plane landing, it showed that maybe there is a hope.
Wow.
Now here you go, 9 Jews walking down. You could tell they all have kippah. So that's because So he says many times we give up on a minyan too fast. You know why? Because they are not praying to get a minyan. You have to pray, Hashem, please, get us a minyan, get us a minyan, get us a minyan. So that's something you can learn from a dream. So okay, two more stories. One, it says here that there was a famous rabbi. Let me heard of this. The Lot Shover Rebbe, Rabbi Michle the Lot Shover.
I spell it.
Sounds like Ashkenaz last name. Zain Lamed Vav Tet Shin Vav Beis Resh. The Lot Shover.
Okay. Polish.
Before he became the biggest rabbi of Europe at the time, was a very poor person. And once he was visiting a new city, nobody wanted to host him, besides a shoemaker, who also was a poor person. So he come to my house. And he gave him food, gave him somewhere to sit and sleep. And the Lovitch Rebbe, at the time was not a Rebbe, was a regular guy. So I never forget what he did for me. Thank you very much. Nobody hosted me. The only person who took me in, this poor guy, he saw another poor person, he hosted me. The second time he went to that town, it was a big Rav, famous Rav in Europe. Everyone knew about him. Everyone went to him to greet him, right? And there was a very wealthy guy in that city. He came over and said, Mr. Wealthy, and all the famous, important people who come to this town, they come to my house. I have a special guest house for you. Please come to me. The Lochaber Rebbe says, oh, no way. We're going tonight to that shoemaker's house. What? Is that your respect? Right? The custom is you come to me. There's no way. Says, can you show me where that shoemaker lives? I'm going there. I want to give the honor to him that he once hosted me, not you. So he says that I appreciate your hospitality, your intention to invite me, but I can't come to you. I have to go to this shoemaker's house. But I want to tell you a good word. I want to give you give you a nice Devar Torah. He says that in the Torah we see Hashem talks about Avraham Avinu of a. Thank you. The Torah talks about Avraham Avinu being a great host. Hospitality is all about Avraham Avinu. Lot also did the same thing. Why no one talks about Lot as a big hospitable person? He went to his town. He also hosted a tree. By the way, the Torah talks about the same story. Right? Torah does not say any story of Avraham Avinu of being a host besides those 3 angels who came to his house. We know he did a lot, Midrash, but Torah doesn't talk about it. And the same 3 angels went to Lot. And the both were hosted. Not only, Lot went out of his way. He was ready to sacrifice his daughters. 2 of them, right? But Lot was ready to sacrifice his daughters for the guests. Abraham didn't do that. He made them wash their feet first. Why we don't say Lot was a big hospitable person? Only Abraham is. So Rav Michla Zolochwer says, you know why? Because when they went to Abraham, they looked at Arabs. Plain people. Who wants to take an Arab home? Nobody. Abraham said, come to my house. I want to give you food. Obviously, you wash your hands. I want to make sure you're not over the Zara. Then you're welcome to my house. So Abraham took people, even they didn't feel, didn't good. It didn't look too good or too important, right? But when they went to Lot, they looked like a malach, right? Lot knew there are angels. Of course, angels always wants to take in. Who doesn't want to? Who, so, you're naive, you're stupid. Why not taking an angel home as a guest? Everybody wants to be saying, I took the angel home. So he says that now you want to. When I came first time, nobody wanted to invite me because I was a regular person, a poor guy. That shoemaker was a Nebach, also a very poor guy. He said, I don't want looking for kavod. Come to my house. You need somewhere to sleep, to eat. I give you, I provide for you. But right now, coming to your house, I'm giving you the kavod. Not you're not giving the kavod. Right? I'm giving you the honor. You want to earn that? You don't earn it. The shoemaker earns that because he did it when he did not get any kavod. Okay, so it's very important to remember when a person does the mitzvah, should do for the mitzvah, not do the mitzvah for what he gains out of it publicly. I'm not saying a person should not do a mitzvah that he has a public acknowledgement. Sometimes it's a good thing because that encourages people to do the mitzvah. I remember once somebody dedicated a Parsha, a Sefer Torah. I knew of him a little bit, but he said, I only doing it because I saw the other guy, he did it, and put up a picture from him. So I like to do it, and please put my picture up too, because this is my friends do it too. So okay, sometimes acknowledgement brings more people to do the mitzvah. But that should be the only reason I'm doing a mitzvah. A person should do the mitzvah because of the mitzvah. If Hashem wants me to do the mitzvah, I do it to Hashem Shamayim. Obviously, the honor will come afterwards, right? Hashem, that there was a Rabbi, and he didn't expect that this Rabbi come to his house at that time. Important person will come to his house. He said, I'm a poor guy. Only poor people come to my house. That poor guy turned to be a very poor person. He came to his house. Okay, so one last story. It's a very famous. I think the first time we started doing the Parsha, I said this Matevakesh, right? Remember, Albert, remembers Matevakesh? What do you seek? What do you want? So when Yosef went to see where the brothers are, a man found him wandering and said, Matevakesh, what are you looking for? So,
my brothers.
Right. Yeah, he was. I'm seeking my brothers. The Kosker Rebbe, you know Kosker Rebbe? Very famous Rebbe, very smart and deep person. He says that that was that was a very important message of the Malach. That he was a Malach, Malach Gabriel, to Yosef. What are you seeking in your life? What are you here for? What's your goal? Tavakesh means to seek, to have a goal. What do you want to reach? Right? Bakasha means a request. What do you request in your life? And that line was in Yosef's, mind forever. He went to Potiphar's house. He was sold, was thrown in the pit. He went, became the vice president. But he always kept in his mind, what am I seeking? What's my goal? What am I here for? Right? That's concept of Chidush. Matavakesh. The person should always think to himself, what am I here for? What am I looking for? Right? It's a very famous line uh, from the Misrad Yesharim, the path of the just. That what's the foundation of the world? A person should see the foundation of the Judaism is a person to know what he's here for, just to find out what you're here for. What am I doing here in this world? You think about it, you might go crazy. It's a very, very deep question. What am I here for? What am I here? I live 80, 90, 120. What am I here for? What do you come to this world for? To work, go through a lot of suffering, sorrows, and die, make money, and what am I here for? That was Malach's message, or question, a message to Yosef. Ma'atavakesh. And that's why Yosef survived. So now, somebody could ask, how could Yosef actually become the king of Egypt? You are, you know, 11th son of Yaakov. You learned in yeshiva about Yaakov. What do you know? The height of what Yosef got? Where'd you get all these powers from? To be a king, to be a preparation chief of Judaism. Why? Because all brothers come later on. He has set up house of learning. A place for them to live, not to be assimilated. He kept the Judaism alive in Egypt. He was a Jew after 4 years. 70-year-old kid. You say, Matavakesh. What do I have inside? I'm not an atomic bomb. How much power do I have? So he says that Rav Chaim Kanievsky, Rav Chaim Mevelagin, once said a beautiful mashal. He said that I'm sorry. Rav Chaim Mevelagin once went to a bar mitzvah party, and he told the bar mitzvah boy, you see, you have the chiyuv, the obligation to keep all the Torah now. 613 mitzvot, so much. Now you have to do everything. So the little boy said, yesterday I was playing in the mud, playing soccer, basketball, depends if you're in Iran or in America. So all of a sudden, my friend's still playing. How can you expect me all of a sudden to be a bar mitzvah and do everything? Rav Chaim, it's too much. And the Torah says it was too much expectation. Matavakesh was too much Tavakesh. How can you expect me that? So it's not fair. So what's the answer? Said there was a very big Rav in the Gura Hasidut, the name of Sefat Emet, very famous book. He became the leader of his community when he was very, very young. I think maybe 18 years old or something. When you live in a Hasidic community, the son always becomes the next Rebbe, no matter what. Rebbe's son, unless the Rebbe didn't have any sons, so they decide from somebody else in the community. Guru Hasidim, they're one of the most learned Hasidic dynasties. Many Hasidim are not into learning so much, they're more into davening, other things, eating a nice Shabbos meal. But the girl, they learned Gemara like crazy. Everybody's doing the Daf Yomi. Even the first Daf Yomi started, the girl Rebbe was behind it the first day of Rosh Hashanah. He started brachot and everybody did it. And they're very, very famous about getting up early in the morning. You have to learn. Chassidut with learning. That's what they're very famous for. Girls. This girl was only 18 years old, maybe even younger when he became the Rebbe. Because the father died, they chose him to be a Rebbe. So, but there's so many other great rabbis in the same community could have taken the same job. So somebody told him, you're so young. There are so many big rabbis around you. How can you become a king over kings? You're too young for it. Why did you take the job? How do you have the kochot, the power, the potential to do the all? It's a very hard thing to tell them what to do. So he said, let me tell you a story. It's a good example. It says that, the mountain climbers. I don't know, have you been climbing mountains? That's not my favorite. So they wanted to go climb the tallest mountain in the world, which is Everest, the tallest. So there's so many challenges. It's so hard, so risky. Many people lose their lives to get to the top. With a group that they said, we're going to take a few months to get people to do it. Right? They have backpacks, so much security, whatever they can for safety. They literally kill themselves to get up to the mountain, to the top of the mountain. They get there, they start taking pictures, and they start being happy. All of a sudden, they see a little boy walking at the top of the mountain. Right? Say, what? How'd you get up here? It took us months to get up here. It's so hard. Little boy, 5-year-old kid. What are you doing up on the mountain? So, what did the kid answer? What was my secret of success to get up onto the mountain? So he answered, he said, I don't understand your question even. What are you talking about? Got up here? So yeah, it took us a few months to get up here. So the little kid said, I was born up here. I live here. Right? That question. I'm up here. So Sifat Emet answered that you think all the people that take up to the big level, yeah, of course, there are levels you have to go up. But I, as a Jew, I was born inside that holiness. I don't need to get up here. I'm there already. Everything's in here. I can use it. So to answer the question, how did the Malach expect Yosef to be truthful, to be righteous, to stay Yosef all his life? It was not a big demand. It was not a high expectation. You're a Jew. What's your goal? You get it. Yosef had to go through what? To become a very righteous. Malach said, what's your goal in life? You'll get there because you have it. Because you were born in that highest level possible for your goal. That's what everyone should keep in mind. But that for me, it's too much. For other people, doesn't apply to me. The Malach tells you, does apply to you, for you. Because you have it there. You're born on top of Everest. Maybe other people have to climb up to get up there. But us as Jews, every Yehudi is born on top of the mountain. Right? Just have to find our goal. What's our goal? But everything Hashem has put in here to get it done. Okay? Chazak u'baruch.
Very nice.
Was it worth it to stay?
That's why I always stay.
Okay, sorry, end late.